All right, so you've got this class discussion coming up on Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Right.
And you're tackling that chapter all about Nicholas Flamel.
Mm-hmm.
Consider this deep dive your express ticket to acing that discussion.
Absolutely.
We're going to break down the mystery, the drama, and all the clues Rowling drops about protecting that super important Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, it's really clever how Rowling makes the reader feel like they're right there with Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Right.
They're not just passively reading about this mystery,
Uh-huh.
they're actively uncovering it piece by piece.
Exactly. It starts in the simple chocolate frog card.
Oh, yeah.
They see Flamel's name, but it doesn't really click.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. The name sticks in their minds, and then, bam,
Yes.
they stumble across it again in a book about alchemy.
Okay.
Suddenly, it's not just a name, it's a connection to something much bigger.
It's like a light bulb moment.
Totally.
They realize Flamel is the key to understanding the Sorcerer's Stone and why it's being so carefully guarded.
And that book isn't just about revealing Flamel's identity.
Right.
It also dives into what makes the Sorcerer's Stone so sought after.
Yeah.
This isn't just some magical trinket.
Uh,
It can turn metal into gold and grant immortality.
okay, so immortality,
Huge.
that's a pretty big deal. But here's what I don't get.
Okay.
If Flamel is 665 years old, thanks to the stone,
Right.
why is he so worried about it being stolen?
That's a great question. It suggests there's more to the stone than just its magical properties.
Okay.
Perhaps it's also a symbol of power, a legacy that Flamel wants to protect.
Okay.
Or maybe there are limitations to its power that we haven't discovered yet.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Like maybe immortality isn't as straightforward as it seems.
Right.
Okay, so we've got this mysterious and powerful stone,
Uh-huh.
a 665-year-old alchemist,
Yeah.
and then a Quidditch match. What's that all about?
The Quidditch Match is more than just a game. It's a microcosm of the power dynamics at play. Snape, who we know already has a less than friendly relationship with Harry,
Yes.
is the referee, adding an extra layer of tension to the already high stakes game.
It's like Rowling is setting the stage for a showdown.
Totally.
We know Snape is after the stone,
Uh-huh.
and now he's in a position of authority over Harry during a very dangerous sport.
And think about the other players.
Right.
You've got Harry, the determined Gryffindor,
Yeah.
facing off against Malfoy, the Slytherin, who always seems to be trying to get one over on him. The rivalry between the houses adds another level of conflict to the match.
Right. It's like a mini battle playing out on the Quidditch pitch.
Exactly.
But what makes this match even more intense
Yeah.
is that Ron and Hermione are convinced Snape is going to try something shady.
Oh, absolutely.
They're even ready to use a pretty serious curse to protect Harry.
The leg locker curse, right?
Yes.
It's a powerful spell that temporarily paralyzes your opponent.
Oh, wow.
Ron and Hermione's willingness to use such magic shows just how far they'll go to protect their friend.
They're not messing around.
Yeah.
But even with all this tension and potential danger,
Right.
Harry manages to pull off a win.
He does.
And guess who shows up? Just in time to see it.
Dumbledore, of course. His arrival isn't just coincidence, it's the strategic move.
Right.
It creates a sense of safety for Harry and serves as a subtle warning to Snape.
Okay.
Remember, Dumbledore knows more than he lets on.
So Dumbledore isn't just this kindly headmaster.
Oh.
He's also playing a much deeper game,
Yeah.
observing and manipulating events behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And this is where the chapter takes another turn.
Okay.
Just when we think the drama of the Quidditch match is over,
Uh-huh.
Harry sees Snape sneaking off into the Forbidden Forest.
Oh, no.
And naturally, Harry follows him.
Of course.
Because why wouldn't he? It's like Harry has a sixth sense for trouble.
Totally.
But what he discovers is even more shocking than he could have imagined.
What's that?
He overhears a conversation between Snape and Quirrell.
Yes. Quirrell, who we've seen as this bumbling, nervous professor, is suddenly revealed to be entangled in Snape's plot.
Wow.
And Snape, in his typical intimidating fashion,
Right.
is putting pressure on Quirrell to help him get past the protections around the Sorcerer's Stone.
It's a huge twist.
Huge.
We thought Snape was acting alone, but now it seems he's got an inside man,
Yeah.
however unwilling that man may be.
And the way Snape talks to Quirrell is chilling.
Yes.
He dismisses Quirrell's magic as hocus pocus
Wow.
and threatens him with consequences if he doesn't cooperate.
Oh, geez.
It shows us that Snape is not only after the stone, but is also willing to manipulate and exploit others to get what he wants.
So not only do we have this mystery surrounding the stone and Flamel,
Yeah.
but now we've got this whole web of secrets and hidden agendas with Snape and Quirrell.
Absolutely. It's getting good. It's fascinating how Rowling uses this one chapter to set up so many of the key conflicts and themes that will play out throughout the entire series. We see the seeds of rivalry between Harry and Malfoy, the unwavering loyalty of Ron and Hermione, and the looming threat of Snape's ambition.
It's like she's weaving this intricate tapestry, and each thread represents a different element of the story.
Yeah.
And you're right, the loyalty between Harry, Ron, and Hermione is incredible.
It really is.
They're willing to risk everything for each other.
Think about it.
Yeah.
They're just 11 years old.
Right.
Most kids that age are worried about homework and who's sitting with whom at lunch.
Uh-huh.
But Harry, Ron, and Hermione are facing down dark wizards and trying to save the world.
And they're not just reacting to events.
Right.
They're actively making choices that shape the story.
Exactly.
Like when Ron and Hermione decide to use the leg locker curse to protect Harry during the Quidditch match.
Yeah.
That's a big decision for them to make.
It shows a level of maturity and moral complexity that's often missing in children's literature.
Yeah.
They understand that sometimes you have to break the rules to do what's right.
And speaking of moral complexity, let's talk about Snape.
Okay.
We know he's after the stone, but what are his motivations? Is it pure greed? Or is there something more to it?
That's one of the most intriguing questions in the book. Rowling doesn't give us easy answers.
Right.
Snape remains an enigma throughout the series, a character who constantly challenges our perceptions.
He's both menacing and sympathetic,
Yeah.
brilliant and flawed.
Uh-huh.
And you can't help but wonder what events in his past led him to this point.
Exactly. He's a walking example of how our past experiences can shape our present choices.
Wow.
And that's something that really resonates with readers,
Right.
especially as they get older and start to understand the complexities of human nature.
It's like Snape is a puzzle that we keep trying to solve,
Yeah.
even after we finish the book.
Definitely.
But for now,
Okay.
let's get back to the action.
All right.
Harry has just overheard Snape's conversation with Quirrell. What happens next?
Well, Harry does what any sensible person would do in that situation.
What's that?
He panics. He races back to the castle to tell Ron and Hermione everything he's heard.
And this is where the true weight of their friendship becomes apparent.
Right.
They don't doubt Harry for a second.
No.
They believe him, even though his story sounds completely insane.
It's a moment of pure trust and solidarity.
Uh-huh.
They realize that they're all in this together and they have to rely on each other to figure out what's going on and how to stop Snape.
And it's not just about stopping Snape.
Right.
It's about protecting the stone
Yeah.
and understanding its true significance.
Yeah.
They know it's powerful, but they're starting to realize that its power goes beyond just magic.
It represents something deeper: knowledge, legacy, the potential for both good and evil.
Right.
And as they delve further into the mystery, they're forced to confront their own beliefs about right and wrong, power and responsibility.
It's like this one chapter is a launching pad for all the adventures that will come later in the series. It sets the stage for the epic battles, the moral dilemmas, and the profound friendships that will define Harry's journey.
And it all starts with a simple question. Who is Nicholas Flamel? Thinking about this chapter as a whole, it's really a story about courage in the face of fear.
Uh-huh.
Harry, Ron, and Hermione are constantly confronting things that scare them.
Yeah.
Whether it's Snape's wrath,
Oh, yeah.
dangerous spells,
Right.
or the unknown secrets of the Sorcerer's Stone.
That's true. And they're not always fearless, are they?
No, definitely not.
I mean, Harry is terrified of Snape.
Yeah.
Ron freaks out during the Quidditch match.
Right.
And Hermione is always worried about breaking the rules.
She is.
But they push through their fear because they know what's at stake.
Exactly. It's not about being fearless. It's about having the courage to act even when you're scared.
Right.
And that's a powerful message for young readers,
Yeah.
especially those who might be struggling with their own fears and insecurities.
Like Rowling is saying, it's okay to be afraid, but don't let fear paralyze you.
Right.
You can be brave even when you're shaking in your boots.
Exactly.
And that message is woven into every aspect of the chapter.
Yeah.
From Harry's decision to play Quidditch to Ron and Hermione's willingness to defend him with magic.
And it's not just about physical courage. It's also about intellectual courage.
Yeah.
The courage to question, to think critically,
Uh-huh.
and to challenge authority.
Right.
Think about Hermione in the library,
Yeah.
tirelessly researching Nicholas Flamel.
Oh, yeah.
She's not just following instructions. She's actively seeking knowledge and understanding.
She's like a detective, piecing together the clues.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this chapter so engaging.
Right.
It's a mystery that unfolds gradually.
Yeah.
And we, as readers, get to solve it along with the characters.
And the mystery goes beyond just the identity of Nicholas Flamel.
Ah.
It's about the nature of the Sorcerer's Stone itself.
Right.
What does it truly represent?
Yeah.
What are its limits?
Right.
And what are the consequences of its power?
Those are some big questions. And I think that's what makes this chapter such a great starting point for a class discussion.
Oh, absolutely.
It raises all these fascinating themes about courage, friendship, the pursuit of knowledge, and the dangers of unchecked power.
It also invites us to consider the choices we make and the consequences of those choices.
Right.
What would we do if we were in Harry, Ron, and Hermione's shoes?
Yeah, good question.
Would we have the courage to stand up to Snape? Would we be willing to risk everything to protect the stone?
It's like a thought experiment
Totally.
that challenges us to examine our own values and beliefs.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the mark of truly great literature. It doesn't just tell us a story.
Right.
It makes us think, it makes us feel, and it stays with us long after we've finished reading.
So as you head into your class discussion, remember to keep those bigger questions in mind.
Okay.
Don't just focus on the plot points. Delve into the deeper meanings and connect the events of this chapter to the wider themes of the book.
And don't be afraid to share your own interpretations and insights.
Yes.
There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to analyzing literature.
Exactly.
The most important thing is to engage with the text in a thoughtful and meaningful way.
Exactly. And remember, this is just the beginning of Harry's journey.
Right.
The events of this chapter set the stage for all the adventures, challenges, and triumph that lie ahead.
I can't wait.
So buckle up and enjoy the ride.